Hello, this is Mike with Quality Car Driver, and today I want to talk about Lyft and how I got associated with Lyft, the process I went through to get to become a Lyft driver, and then talk a little bit about how I drive for Lyft and the money I make and how I get paid. Uh, Today, people ask me, I've heard people ask, well, what's the process for driving for Lyft? And how did I get involved? And how much they pay, and is it worth it? And I've heard many questions about that from people. And let me first talk about how I got involved with Lyft and compare to Uber, because the process with Lyft is a little bit different from Uber. When I started driving for Uber first, about 2.5 years ago, I just had to go to their website, apply to get some information. They did a background check, and then I had to upload some information about my insurance and my driver's record, my driver's license. Sorry about that. And then about 2 or 3 weeks, they email back to me and say, "Hey, you can start driving." Basically, it was that pretty simple. Okay. But then when I tried to apply for Lyft, because somebody told me about Lyft, and she was a driver. I gave this lady a ride one time, and she said, "Hey, I drive for Uber and Lyft." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know Lyft was around." And I said, "Well, how do I get involved with Lyft?" And she said, "Well, just do the same thing with Uber." I was like, "Okay." So I did the same thing with Lyft. I went on their website. I uploaded all my information. But the one thing that was different compared to Uber is that I had to meet with a Lyft driver. The funniest thing was that the Lyft driver I met with was a lady that told me about Lyft. And I had to meet with her at the mall. She had to check on my car. She checked out my lights worked. Everything worked in my car. Then she showed me a little bit about how the app worked. And about 2 or 3 weeks later, I got the email saying, "Hey, you can drive for Lyft too." So that's a little bit, a nutshell how I started with both companies. With Lyft, is a little bit different when it comes down to how I drive. I drive mostly for Lyft during the day because I work at night, my other job. And I'm noticing that I'm getting more rides with Lyft than I had when I started. I think the little bit difference is that with Lyft, number two reason I think is that Lyft is getting more popular with people because of the advertising they're doing. And secondly is that I've been giving more rides to people to their medical appointments. And I realized that was happening last year because I looked on their website, or I went on news, and they talk about how they have been developed some relationship with insurance companies, health insurance companies, to get people rides to medical appointments. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, think about it. I mean, when I was a kid, you had to get a cab or a bus, or you had a car yourself to get your medical appointments. And some people don't have a car. Some people are not healthy enough to drive a car or get around. And then they have cabs, and cabs are fine. But basically with Lyft, people just come right to your house and pick you up and take you to a medical appointment. And it's good. It's a win-win situation with Lyft and the insurance companies, because they get paid. More people going to get the health exams, and they get more money from the health insurance company to pay for those exams. People are going to get healthier because they're getting those exams done. And then I'm helped because I get more rides in a day. They increase in my pay. And then it helps Lyft because they get paid more money for more rides. Now, that's a great thing about those medical appointments rides. Now, I've heard some people some cab companies may not like doing it. To me, it's pretty simple. I can do at least 10 rides a day easily, or more, just doing those medical rides. Now, remember, when you do that with those medical rides, the people that you pick up, they call 800 number to get that appointment from the health insurance company. And then the health insurance company then goes on to a Lyft app, and then that's how they request a ride for the people. And then when they get in the car and they drop them off, they have to call the 800 number again to have somebody come out and pick them up from Lyft. Now, the most recent information I read online was that Uber probably saw this happening, and now they're developing relationships with health providers to give rides too for medical. That's what I like about Lyft. They're ahead of the curve a lot when it comes down to these things. And I don't really hear too much about Lyft in the news, about their company, people, their presence. Basically, they're expanding, like I heard, that to other countries like Uber did. But right now, I think they're in Canada right now. They're expanding too. And that's why, and then I think now, that's what I like about Lyft is that they're expanding, they're growing. Now, the next thing we talk is pay. How I get paid compared to Uber. Pay basically is close to the same, maybe a little bit more. They do have some things like surge, like Uber does, at night or during the day. And then they also have what they call at night a power zone. And that's here in Toledo. And it's close to my house. So that I can just sit in my house, the power zone, and just wait for the ride request, and I get paid the power zone. And if there's a surge going on, I get paid for that too. So that's nice about Lyft is that I get paid 3 or 4 times more for the rides I give. So that's what I like about Lyft here in Toledo is that they've been giving more bonuses, more money for people to drive. And they also have this, like sometimes I've seen them do this weekly or guarantee hourly pay here in Toledo where you do so many rides in an hour and you have to accept so many rides and they give you a guaranteed $25 an hour. So that's almost a guaranteed payout. I think Uber does that a little bit too sometimes. But that's what I like about driving for Lyft. It's almost like driving for Uber, but I feel a little bit more comfortable with the people that's in my car with Lyft, and I drive during the day, so I get a little bit more rides during the day from Lyft with the medical. But if you have any questions, concerns, that basically is my talk about Lyft. I'm going to talk more about Lyft here coming up here down the road, and but this is my starting out. Any questions, concerns about signing out for Lyft? Just go to my website. It's qualitycardriver.com. And you guys have a great day and be safe out there.